Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Not sure why it took me so long to come here and fly, but I'm at OSH, that's KOSH in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, where they have the infamous air show. And I thought I'd come here and fly because they never really have, and I thought it'd be fun to check it out. It's a very empty airport compared to when the air show was running, that's for sure. But I'm just going to kind of fly up and do a pattern and come back. And the reason being, well, part of the reason being, is that I decided to pursue my private pilot's license again. I had started pursuing it some 20 years ago and had to stop. Have about 6 hours in the logbook, and I decided to restart, so I've enrolled in ground school and started my studies. So I'm planning on doing a lot of flights that are going to be based on lessons, maneuvers, and so forth. Things that I read maybe in the ground school, and just practicing my controls, practicing my awareness, and trying to stay within minimums and proper procedures for landings and takeoffs and so forth. So fly a lot of patterns and get those down. Like right now, I'm really way above pattern height here, so I gotta get low and fly a little bit lower. So, but I'm sitting in the 172, and it's got the old analog gauges, not the modern, and because I want to fly with the dials for these flights right now anyways. And yeah, not too far from the airport, so it's good. High, but I think within range. Yeah, so this, like I said, this is a new area for me, and very happy with the way the sim has been performing with the new 4070 card and the new Alienware laptop. I've been very happy with the performance. And this particular flight, I'm also flying with my seat way back. I normally sit a lot closer to the dashboard, but I thought maybe this would provide a better view for the viewers. And yeah, so yeah, it's a 2000, yeah. But you know what? I didn't check field elevation. Darn it, I should have looked at whatever the field elevation was. Now I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna like I said, I'm going to do things more properly. I got my flight pad for my BFR flights, and so I'm going to record my departing and arrival, my departure and arrival information, including ATIS and frequencies and so forth, and just as if I was flying a real flight. So it seems like a pretty nice area to fly around here. Pretty wide open, and who knows, maybe someday if I get my actual pilot's license, I'll be able to fly in here for the Oshkosh Air Show. That would be an incredible dream come true, but I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so we'll just continue around the pattern here. Graphics seem to be performing really nicely. Again, I'm using the Nvidia 4070, and this is a laptop. It's an Alienware laptop. It's got the Nvidia 4070 graphics card. I have uninstalled the OpenXR Toolkit. I am flying strictly with the Flight Simulator native settings, the Nvidia control panel settings, and the virtual desktop streamer settings. That's what I use as virtual desktop, not the Airlink or the link cable. And yeah, so far, I mean, even without the the OpenXR Toolkit, which I think the developer said now is no longer really beneficial to the game. I think I read that. If I'm misquoting, then I apologize, but I thought I had read that someplace. So like I said, I've uninstalled it, not using the Oculus Tray tool or the Debug tool. The Oculus software is not installed. It's just my virtual desktop streamer and my Nvidia with the latest graphics driver. And again, running my flight sim with native settings. Yeah, I like this. You get a chance to come out over the water. You got a shoreline. Yeah, I'm way too far out. I don't know I went this far away from the airport, but again, I kind of was here to sightsee, and at the last moment just sort of decided to kind of try and do a pattern. So yeah, like I said, so I'm re-pursuing my private pilot's license, and dusted off the old logbook, because everything in my logbook is still valid. It's not current, but it's still valid. I don't lose the hours or any of the things that my certified instructor had signed me off on. I enrolled in Gold Seal Ground School, about 85% done with that, which will allow me to get a endorsement to take the written exam. And then the written exam, if I pass that, when I pass that, the results for that are good for 24 months. So I'll have 2 years to finish the actual flying portion of it, the in the air portion of it, which really shouldn't be that hard. I think I can do pretty well in an aircraft right now with the amount of flight sim flying I've done in the last 35 years now. I guess it's been 35 plus years, and now with having the last couple of years with virtual reality and having the full view inside my cockpit. Other than some of the muscle memory, that's really what I'll be missing, because obviously my flight yoke, although very realistic, isn't real, and my throttle quadrants are not the same type as what you would have in a Cessna with the push type. So the muscle memory, again, is something I don't really have developed. But knowing about the sight picture, knowing and understanding the aerodynamics behind flying and the four forces that you have to understand quite well, knowing how to counteract for wind, knowing how to navigate, all of these things I do and have done for quite some time. So those areas I think I'll be okay with, especially based on the results so far of my ground school training, which hasn't taken a whole lot of book study, because again, I know it. I know the airspaces. I know the rules of flying and traffic and communication and safety and what they call ADM, aeronautical decision making. And this is, hey, even without paying as much attention as I should have, this is actually quite a nice landing, I must say. I'm kind of pleased with this. So, okay, I was happy with that landing. Yeah, so it's exciting. So I'll be keeping track, keeping people up to date. I haven't picked my instructor or flight school in this area. It's kind of having a hard time finding someone. So hopefully it won't take too long. But speaking of instructor, next flight, I'm going to go to Johnston County, KJNX in North Carolina, and I'm going to fly from the right seat. I notice a lot of videos from instructors, even when they don't have a student, they fly from the right seat. And I'm curious what that's like because the gauges are all on the other side, you know. So, hey, stay with me and thanks for watching. Hey, all right. Well, here we are, taking off at Johnston County, KJNX in Smithfield, North Carolina. Fun little airport, and I'm hoping to make this my home airport if I can find a CFI that'll teach me here. Otherwise, I may have to travel a little bit, which will be unfortunate, but it'll be worth it. So I was happy with my landing on that last flight, but not overall happy with my pattern work. So I'm going to try and concentrate a little bit better here for this one here. So, and I'm going to try and follow a very standard pattern as we climb here. When we get to about 700 feet, I'm going to make my crosswind. Get to 1,000 feet for the pattern altitude. Yeah, I'm going to make the crosswind. And we'll climb as we go, and we'll try and get to 1,000, stay at 1,000, and definitely not get as far from the airport as, oh shoot, I overturned. I overturned. I'm not going to be perpendicular to the airport. I'm at an angle. Okay, so, well, I'll turn less on my downwind, which I'm going to turn to now. Here we're at 1,000. I'll put in climbing, no, go back down, no, don't climb. Maybe still kind of far away. I'm not sure. I think it should be what, about a mile distant from the runway. I'm not sure. I think I might still be kind of far. Yeah. I think I might still be kind of far. But get 10 degrees of flap here once we get that to the 45. It is very different flying from the right seat. Sure. Very different view. Trying to, I guess I could still use my, what do they call it, the Lindbergh view? No, can't remember now what they call it. If you're not familiar with that term, what that's referring to is looking down the side of your panel and the window, and it's kind of like a pizza slice, and it's really great in a tail dragger. It was critical for Mr. Lindbergh because he had no forward windows in his aircraft because the front of his aircraft was filled with fuel tanks and the engine, and so there was no window in the front of his aircraft. And so he ended up getting used to looking out the corner of his window. And he actually mentioned that started when he was an airmail pilot because his front seat was so full of mail bags that he got used to looking out this angle. And so, yeah, so now it's called the Lindbergh reference. And you look out the left corner of the front window, and it gives you all the information. And some people refer to it like a pizza slice, an upside down pizza slice. It's a triangle. You know, people, oh, a triangle, let's call it a pizza slice. No, let's call it a triangle, okay? Because that's what it is. And a pizza slice just happens to be shaped like a triangle. Doesn't mean that a whole triangle, oh, sorry. Kind of ranting on a silly thing there. But Yeah, so, but when you're sitting in your seat and you can't look out over your panel, you look to the left of the panel, and it's that little side there between really the first frame of your front window and the panel. And it gives you a really nice view. You can tell if you're centered on the runway. You can tell exactly how your aircraft is performing as you're taking off, even without having the normal visibility that we have with a tricycle gear. So, not quite on pattern, not quite on slope, but I'm happy with it right now. I got my target picked out for where I'm going to flare. I'm not seeing my runway change in sight picture. It's not getting bigger or getting smaller. It's staying right where it should, and where it should be flaring out right here. And let's going a little bit faster than I want, but still not a bad landing. Not a bad landing. Okay. So I'm going to continue to practice my patterns and keep everyone up to date with my pursuit of my pilot license, and who knows, maybe I'll get some real video of the real flying if they let me. I don't imagine they wouldn't. Nowadays everybody's doing it. All right, so yeah, so there we are, right seat flight in the Cessna 172M, which is not included unless you get the deluxe version, which I purchased just for this plane alone because it was the only way to get this plane. And so there you go. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the skies.